Yo, what is sharp? Let me get a yeah. Yo, what it do? It's your boy SPACETATUM. And today I'll be teaching you how to make a calculator in C sharp. Let me get a yay. Ugly. But yeah, so we're gonna be making a calculator in C sharp. So let's go ahead and head on to the compiler. Let's go. All right, so starting off, we need to go to online GDB compiler. We can change the Java to C sharp, and I can get rid of all this. And you can name this whatever. It's just a class name. I usually change mine to program. And then in here, you want to put string with the array brackets, and then arguments, args. Yeah, I like my stuff formatted a little different than how they format it. And then so whenever you're thinking of a calculator, you should be telling so basically what I'm saying is that we have to prompt the user to enter the first number. So whenever you're on the calculator, you enter the first number. So let's go ahead and tell the user to enter the first number. Enter the first number. And I'm using camel case. I just like the way it looks on the output. Enter the first number. We're also doing stuff to make our output look good as well. So enter the first, and then so in C sharp, you know how we would initialize a variable and then basically just call it using cin. In C sharp, you can basically just call it as it goes. So we can say basically here, we can say double because we're getting a number, double num1, and we can say equals console dot read line. And we're going to do the same thing for the second number. Control C, because we're either going to add, multiply, divide, or subtract a number. So, and instead of number 1, because we're not overloading it, we can change it to 2. And instead of first, we can say second. And then all this is the same. And then now we need something for our operator. So we can say basically console dot write line, and we can say basically like choose an operator. So we can say choose a specific operator you would like to use. And we can put a list of the operators. So we can say plus, minus, multiplication, and division. Never forget the semicolon. And then here, so instead of using double, this is a string because we're asking them just to input an operation that they would like to use. So it'd be plus or minus or multiplication or division. So we can say string, and we can say we can call this operator. So operator, but we got to give it a capital because that's already a name. So operator, and then we can say equals console dot read. But we also have to, so yes, so don't ever forget, you have to convert these into doubles as well, because the compiler won't know. So we can say convert dot to double. Never forget that. Ugh. And put another over here. And the same thing for both of them. So convert to double. Double. All right. And then on here, so console dot read line, because this is not using a double. Read line. And parentheses. And then so now we need to create something for our operator, so for it to pick, so for it to know what if we're actually using add, if we're actually using multiply, if we're actually using subtract, if we're actually using division. So here we can set our result int. We'll use a double because we're using double values. So double, it'll be double result equals 0, and you'll see why I'm setting to 0 in a second. And then so here's our switch statements. We can say switch, and we want to switch with our operator. So we want to, because we're switching one, and we want to have different cases for the different operators. So the case for the plus, and then we'll say for the plus, and then for the minus, then we'll say for the minus, then for the multiple, then we'll say for the multiple. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna say case. So usually we say case 1, and then like that, and then do it. But in this case, we're not using actual integers. In this case, we're actually using the operator. So we can say so case, and then we can say plus. You can come down here, and you can say result is equal to, and basically say what it's doing. So we're adding the number 1. So we're the first number you entered and the second number you entered. So we come in here and we say num1 and num2. And we're going to do the same thing for every one of them. So you can really just come here, and it's what? This 2. Control C. Well, I'll also need the break too, so I'm going to also have the break. So basically, we can do this. Control V. So then we can send it this. We are subtracting. Subtract. And so you can see it a little better. We are subtracting the number 1 and number 2. We're going to break. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So Control V. And instead of that, we want to take from the multiplication. So we want to multiply. Multiply the number 1 and number 2. We want to break, and we want to do the same thing for the division. And we're going to be doing a little different later when actually implement it later. You'll see what I mean. And then instead of this, you want to be division, and then divide. So yes. So after we have this, and now we want to. So after this, what do you want to happen on your calculator after you put your first number, your second number in, and your first number, and then your operator, and then your second number? What do you expect to happen? I will hope that you'll be expecting to get a result. So in this case, we have to say console dot right line right here. And we can say we can use string nation. That's the money sign right here. Yeah, sorry. So we can say the result is, and basically say what I just said. So in the calculator, you enter your first number, so your number 1, and then you entered your operator. Make sure everything is correct syntax or correct format. Syntax as well, because that's the names. And then our second number, so num2, and then is result. So how do we call it? We call it the result. So then that is that. And then this. So we want to come back right here. Close it. So that's just our result. And then basically here's when, do you remember when I said that we're actually going to implement it? So static double, because we're using a double value, or it could be a double value. And then we can say add. And then we want to add double A and double B. You want to say right here, make it push it down a little bit so you can see. So right here, you're going to say return A plus B. And then we're going to do the same thing for the rest of them. And static double subtract. I'm going to say double A double B. And you want to return A minus B. And then static double. Then we are multiply. You got double A and then double B. You want to return A times B. And then for our next one, you have static void double, what the heck, double divide double A and double B. And then you want to, so here's, remember I told you they will be a little different. So here's how it's going to be different. So we have if B equals to 0, your console dot write line, we can say like number is not divisible to 0. And then we can say basically return nan. And nan. And then put a double and dot. So double dot. Never forget the semicolon. And then in this case, so we had said double non if it's not 0. So if it's not, all right, so then we have to say basically return A divided by B. All right, so let's go over the code. Enter first number we have. So you enter first number, enter second number, then you'll choose an operator between these, and then it will do the job. So if you chose the plus, it'll come here and it'll add them. If you chose subtract, it'll come here and it'll subtract. If you chose to multiply, it'll come here and multiply. If you chose to divide, it'll come here and divide it. And if it's not divisible to 0, then it will just return with this message. So let's go ahead and run it. So it's saying we have an error. It says convert does not exist. So let's go to convert on 10, 19. So here, remember, I said it's supposed to say convert to double. So I did it to the other one. I guess I just did it with this one. So let's go ahead and run it. So enter first number 7. Enter the second number. What would you like to do? I would like to multiply. So there it gives me 7 times 33 is 231. So let's go ahead and do it on my calculator. Let's see if 7 times 33 and that is equal to 231. And again, thanks for watching with me, SPACETATUM.